Hello Anglophonians, and welcome to a new episode where we normally take a look at the European comic cultures, but not this time. We are going to the EUROPA-PARK again, and it's the year 1981.
And Callum is back for this episode as well. Hello, dear viewers. Let's take a look at what EUROPA-PARK did in 1981. And you can say that not only am I back, but also something old is back. In 1981, an antique horse carousel with hand-carved figures and carriages was brought to the park. A beautiful piece of history that previously traveled around the country with the fairs, but has now found its final location. The second innovation was an expansion. The Canal Blossom ride had previously driven through an open landscape. Now a small indoor area has been added, the so-called Crystal Palace. Let's take a look at the ride. What is often overlooked about EUROPA-PARK, since it was partly built in the castle park of Balthazar Castle, there are also other old buildings here. For example, the old castle chapel stands on the only hill on the site. Okay, compared to the other buildings, it's not that old, but it was built by the previous lords of the castle. At the end of 1442, Bishop Ruprecht of Strasbourg enfeoffed the entire Rust region to the nobleman Bernhard Böcklin. Since then, the imperial barons Böcklin von Böcklensau have lived for 18 generations at their ancestral castle, the former moated castle Balthasarburg. Ruprecht Böcklin von Böcklensau was the last lord of Rust. He wanted the Böcklin burial site to be moved from the Rust cemetery to the castle park of EUROPA-PARK. In 1943, he made the decision to abandon the old burial site and exhume the dead family members and transfer them to the Finkenbuck in the castle park. The Finkenbuck is the hill on which the grave chapel was built in 1954 and 1955, which was inaugurated on July 10, 1955, with strong participation from Rust's population. The chapel is called Marienkapelle. Above the entrance door it says, Sancta Maria, 1954, Ora pro nobis. The Latin saying translated means, Holy Mary, pray for us. From the chapel you could once see as far as the Hochkönigsburg in Alsace. Today it is surrounded by tall cypress trees and stands in the middle of EUROPA-PARK. On the outer wall of the chapel, there are gravestones and tombstones of the Böcklins and their relatives. The last member of the Böcklin family had the gravestone inscribed in the right field during his lifetime. Imperial Baron Ruprecht Ludwig Böcklin von Böcklensau, born June 21, 1875, died on... The person whose date of death was to be entered was celebrating his own 80th birthday at the time in Balthazar Castle. He died the same year in December and was buried in an oak trunk. For this purpose, he had the tree trunk cut in Taubergießen during his lifetime. It was later hollowed out and sawn to size. Every year, the artist's service at the opening of the EUROPA-PARK season with the circus priest was celebrated in this chapel. An unusual place in the middle of a theme park, and the story of EUROPA-PARK is far from over.
So there you have it, the year 1981 in the history of the Europa-Park. Well, next time we take again a look at another European comic. So until then, take good care of yourself and see you.